Hey YouTube guys and YouTube gals, it's me Magnum over Guns and Cars with two Z's if you please. Today we're going to talk about the Chevrolet Corvair. Ralph Nader said it was unsafe at any speed, but I ran into some people today who had a different opinion. Stick around and hear what they had to say. Now, which one is yours?
Mine's the silver 66 Corvair with the Oldsmobile aluminum V8.
I like the wheels.
American Racing.
Yeah.
105Ds. They are from the 60s.
I love the wheels. Those are American Racing wheels, he says. I'm casting a shadow in here, so I'm going to move over. Wow, that's a pretty big motor for such a little car. So all you Corvette or Corvair lovers out there, this is for you. And it's a convertible to boot. Wow. That's awesome.
So the interior is basic stock Corsa, which was the top of the line car. The buckets, the front bucket seats have been replaced. Those are Corbeau bucket seats. Very comfortable. My wife and I just came back off the Hot Rod and Power Tour. So we put 3,400 miles on this car just a couple of weeks ago.
Wow.
And it's very comfortable to drive. Okay, this has a Be Cool radiator system, a Spall 2800 CFM electric fan that pulls air through, and I have air inlet grills that are down next to the tag, and then a Camaro air spoiler which pushes air up. The car with the air conditioner on and on a very hot day like today runs 205 degrees.
Well, this is very nice.
So the engine
Very nice
itself
indeed.
is the Oldsmobile 215 all aluminum. It runs reverse rotation so that it can mate up to the Corvair transaxle. Uses a Corvair Saginaw 4-speed transmission and the differential. The difference is on normal cars, the input shaft of the transmission is about this long. On a Corvair, any Corvair that's a manual transmission or power glide, the input shaft is about that long because it runs from the transmission through the differential into the back of the flywheel in the engine. So they're about 24 inches long, actually 25 3/4 inches if memory serves me correctly. That car, that transaxle will handle up to 300 horsepower.
Really?
And mine, I'm running right about 240 horsepower.
I know that some of them had a turbocharger on them.
Yes, the Buicks did. They were 215 horsepower, but they were very apparent. This is a Spectre Performance air intake system where I have a metal shroud under to protect from heat coming up off the headers, and I'm pulling my cold air right in through here, right into the air filter. So it's like a cold air intake. 140 amp alternator, a Edelbrock 600 CFM 4-barrel carburetor on it. I'll give kudos to Optima. I like AGM batteries. I'll just speak very highly about them.
Okay.
I forget what the A is for, glass mat battery. You don't have to add water to them, and they're relatively trouble-free.
Well, that's good. Trouble-free is always good.
Yeah. And
so now they had didn't they also have a Spider version of the Corvair?
They had a Spider 62 to 64. That was 150 horsepower turbocharged.
Okay, now 62 to 64, that was what they call the early model?
That was the early. That's a square boxy style like this one right here.
Right, okay. So that's 62 to 64.
And this mine's a 66. It originally came with a 140 horsepower engine.
Okay.
So,
but you got past that and went into this big Oldsmobile engine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always wanted a V8 powered Corvair, and I've been in Corvairs for 47 years. I've always owned some kind of Corvair, 30 plus Corvairs over 47 years. But I call this one the keeper. It's the final. I mean, I'm getting up close to 70.
Now, did they make a Corvair with a V8?
No.
They didn't. Okay.
GM did 5 prototypes, 2 convertibles and 3 coupes. They put this engine in them.
Okay.
The young man In 1969, he got his Corsa from his dad free. It only had 35,000 miles on it. And he got the plans from GM. He actually wrote to GM, or it was in Rod and Custom or something. Anyway, I've got the plans.
All
It's
right.
done on legal size yellow tablet, pencils, drawings, and the whole bit.
All right.
He started it, couldn't finish it. So this car sat in his garage from 1969 until 2008. The third owner bought it and he thought, wow. So he went to a professional restorer and said to the professional restorer, the engine's in,
All right.
the radiator's in, can you fix this car, paint it, you know, make it look good? It wasn't rusty. I've seen the car
Oh, really?
all the way down. I've got all the CDs of the total rebuild on the car. The guy says, how much can you do that for? And the guy goes, I'm probably do about $20,000. Listen, we're hot rodders. If somebody says $20,000, double it. Well, he got to double that, and it was almost finished. It was drivable, streetable, and he had so much money in it, he was afraid of it. He put it on eBay. It was on for 2 days. I mark things like that. I save stuff, and then it was gone. I figured, okay, the guy sold it. About 6 weeks later, on a whim, I'm going through my save material, and I go, I'll give this guy a call. Well, yeah, it's for sale. I took it off. Nobody wanted to meet my price. And I said, well, what's your price? And he said, well, says, I got to have $27,000 for that car. I said, well, okay, I'll call you when I'm going to spend $27,000, which I never was. But the rest, as they say, a period of time, over 4 months passed. I called the guy. I'm going back east to New Jersey, Tenafly, New Jersey, for a friend's son's marriage. And I said, look, I've seen the photographs of the car. If it's as good as you say, we arranged a price. And I said, bring it down. I will buy it. I'll drive it home. I'll turn my I drove a rental car back so I could do that. He didn't show up. Okay. Got back home. A friend of mine had died. Went to Seattle. Came back from the funeral. Phone rang. Well, I didn't come down because I was afraid you wouldn't like the car. And if you didn't like the car, I was afraid I'd get a scratch in it or something from driving it all the way down there. And that's when this guy is afraid of his baby. Well, we build them to drive them. I build them to take care of them. This car looks better than when I got it from him because there's been some changes that I like. Anyway, so the long story short is I have a car that I've been looking for 20 years. I'm very happy with it. It drives like a dream. My wife and I came back from 3,400 miles on the Hot Rod Power Tour, had a great time. We're taking off in it next month, going to Kalamazoo, Michigan for the Corvair National Convention. We're going to go over the top, go to Mackinac Island for a couple of days, and then back down and home.
Wow, that sounds like fun. It sounds like you've had a lot of fun with this car so far, and looks like you're planning to have more with it.
That is the definition of a true hot rod. Do you enjoy what you have?
Right.
And I do.
Yeah. So I guess you're not going to sell it to me today, right?
Afraid not.
Okay. Well, thank you. Do you want to give your name?
Sure. My name's Carl Cozed.
Carl what?
Cozed, like Cozed, Nebraska.
Okay. Well, Carl, thank you very much for your time and for sharing your car with us.
Sure.
And I appreciate it. This should be up on YouTube by later tonight if you want to watch it.
66 140 Monza. The engine was an option on the Monza. And normally came with a 2 carburetor engine. This is a 4 carburetor engine.
Oh, okay.
Most of the Corsas, which took the Spider nameplate from the early models, had the 140 or the 180 turbo. The Monza, this is the Monza, had the 140 as the option with the 4 carbs.
Okay.
This car is completely stock, except for what you can see. It's an original car, except for the body side molding, the wheels, and the tires, and
Wow.
the steering wheel, and the exhaust is different. But other than that, the car is just like it rolled off the showroom floor.
Awesome. How many miles on
It's
it?
got 59,000, I believe, on it right now. I've owned it since 1973,
You don't drive it enough.
and it's never been restored.
So this is all original.
Yeah,
Yeah.
paint's original, the interior's original. Basically, it's original except for maintenance items like battery and brakes. You know, the
Yeah.
change on it.
Well, I'm going to walk around it and get some video of it.
There's the 4 cars.
Okay, so they got
Side.
2 on each side. And this is 6-cylinder?
Air-cooled, 6-cylinder, horizontally opposed. Does not leak oil.
That's always good.
Does not leak oil. That's the reason why Corvairs leaked oil, because people overheated them.
Right.
This engine runs around 350 degrees on norm, which is about 150 degrees hotter than a normal car runs with a radiator. The only way this engine can get hurt is if you get it up around 600 degrees when you break a belt. Then it will cook the seals, and that's why they leaked oil. People would try to drive to the gas station and get them fixed. By the time they got to the gas station, the car was up to 600 degrees and fried the seals, and then they would leak oil. It wasn't the car's fault. It was the fact they tried to take it to the gas station and get it fixed. And they just put the belt on and shut the car off, and never would have leaked properly.
Okay, I'm going to walk around a little bit here. I like your wheels.
Corvair also was the first American car built with a rear engine, with the exception of the Tucker, but the Corvair was mass produced where the Tucker was not. The first 4-wheel independent suspension, first unibody, the first turbocharged, first car with 4 carburetors, and it also has no hump, like a transmission hump, no transmission hump, trunks in the front, and the suspension on the back of the late model Corvairs like this are very similar to the 63 through 67 Corvettes. The only difference is this is a coil spring, and also Corvair was built in 7 different body styles. They had the convertible, the 4-door, the 2-door, the station wagon, the ramp side pickup, the van, and also a motorhome.
Alrighty, man, you guys are just like encyclopedia with all this info here. Wow, nice interior. This has got 59,000 miles, original miles on it, he says. Look at that, wing windows. Love those. I don't know why they did away with them, actually. Thank you, Bill, for your time. I appreciate it. Love your car. And the color of this is called?
I knew you were going to ask that.
Yellow. Okay.
Yellow, it's yellow.
Okay.
Corvair, go to Jay Leno's garage. He talks about the Corvair's history, and he also had a ramp side pickup, I believe, on there also. He does a 15-minute deal on both cars, the ramp side pickup and the late model Corsa.
Okay.
If you want to know the true history of Corvair, Leno will tell you.
All right. Do you guys have a club that you are members of?
The local, very active Corvair club, of which we are all members, is called HACOA, H-A-C-O-A, Heart of America Corvair Owners Association. Just think HACOA.org and O-R-G, and people can find us. The other is do a Google search for Kansas City Corvair Club. We'll come up.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. And that is what I learned about the Chevrolet Corvair today. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something too. By the way, were a lot more cars there. A lot of really cool cars. But we're going to save those for another day. Until I speak with you again, and even after that, you stay safe.